The first Republican to enter the race for governor of Iowa campaigned in Sioux City tonight.
Former State Representative Brad Sherman, who's a pastor in Williamsburg, spoke to the group Freedom is Not Free at Restoration Church in Morningside. Sherman says his campaign is about restoring the founding freedoms, which he says include life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Our rights come from God, not government, and the purpose of government is to protect our rights that God gives us. And so that's a key principle right there.
Sherman, who was the first Republican to get into the race for governor, is now in a field of 5 candidates. He's joined by State Representative Eddie Andrews of Johnston, former Iowa Department of Administrative Services Director Adam Steen of Runnels, Republican Congressman Randy Feenstra of Hull, and businessman and farmer Zach Lane from Belle Plaine, who was raised in western Iowa and went to Sioux City East High School.